this is the AK Atheist Killer, your favorite apologist in the whole world. Tonight we're going to put a brand new atheist in our zoo. His name is Paul C. Hartley. He's been owned. First of all, before I begin, if anyone wants to know where God exists, I'll tell you. God by definition is supernatural, immaterial, spaceless, timeless, all-knowing, all-powerful, personal, and exists in the supernatural realm. If you don't like the definition I give of God, that's not my problem. You probably don't like it because it's the only option that makes sense for the existence of the universe. But that's neither here nor there, because everyone knows that the AK does phase debating. And phase 1 is the Elliott argument, which one must either defeat, which is impossible, or admit is valid. And it's important to remember that the Elliott argument makes no claims about the existence of God. So you're barking up the wrong tree unless you have already made it to phase 2, which Mr. Hartley never did. So what's this video about? This is an ownage video about a guy named Paul C. Hartley, who I completely owned and destroyed in a debate. How did this happen? Well, he made 2 videos, each over 10 minutes long, where he refused to answer my questions. He also claimed that he defeated my argument. He claimed that my argument was a false dichotomy and that he could present a third option for the existence of the universe, which did not fall under my 2 acronyms. I told him this is logically impossible the way the 2 are defined, but you are more than welcome to try, Mr. Hartley. So what he did was, he made the claim that there are infinite potentials, which are immaterial, spaceless, timeless, but don't exist anywhere. I told him even God exists somewhere, so saying something exists and making the claim that it does not exist anywhere was his first major problem. But beyond that, I asked him, how is it that these potentials you speak of created our physical universe? For example, please give me a step-by-step process so I can paint a mental picture for myself of how these potentials that you say do not exist anywhere and don't have a personal mind can bring our physical universe into being. He refused to answer this numerous times because he knows that he cannot answer it. His baseless and incoherent assertions mean nothing to me, and in no way even come close to defeating my argument. Saying there is an infinite potential for something to exist is not providing a third option for how that something began to exist. So in the end, I just kept sending him this question over and over and over again. He simply would not answer. He's scared, and he still refused to answer the question to this very day. He still refuses to give a step-by-step process of how there was no physical universe, just these spaceless, timeless, immaterial potentials that didn't have a personal mind and didn't exist anywhere, and then suddenly a physical universe began to exist. The reason is because if he tries to tell me, I will show him that he's not presented a third option at all, but rather his option falls under STE or SCP-NCU once broken down to its foundation. An important point here is that the burden of proof rests on Mr. Hartley's shoulders. He's the one that's made the claim that he had a third option and that my argument was a false dichotomy. So he must answer any and all questions about his options, or he has just asserted that he has an option but not proved it. So then, after all of this, I came home and I seen that he had made another response video, this one over 18 minutes long, which I laughed at because I already know our history. I know he's a coward. I know he refuses to answer this specific question that I've given him, but he still wants to make the claim my argument's a false dichotomy without proving it. But this new video that he made, I would just like to break it down for you because it's so sad and laughable that it really makes me feel bad for him. So let's get into this. At 1 minute and 25 seconds and at 1 minute and 45 seconds of his new video, let me respond by saying the Elliott argument makes no claims about the existence or validity of the UC option. It's just assumed to be the preferred option by the reader without actually making the outright claim. At 3:08 of his video, I'm not offering 2 illogical possibilities. I'm just making the claim that atheists only have 2 options for the existence of the universe, and it just so happens to be that both are irrational, illogical, and have no evidence. One doesn't necessarily need to choose, and the person can say, I don't know, as long as they are honest enough to admit that there are only 2 options for atheists, and both are flawed. Either that, or they can try to defeat this fact. At 3:59, Mr. Hartley, this is a lie. The truth is that it's logically impossible to present a third option because of the way the two acronyms are defined. At 427 and 1051 and numerous other spots of this video is another lie. As I've already stated before, the Elliott argument makes no claims about the existence or validity of a UC option. At 501 of his video, the alien baby, the potato, the cookie, the smurf, they all fall under STE or SCP-NCU once I make you define them and break them down. That is, unless you are too scared to answer questions, in which case you lose by default. At 537, the Elliott argument remains undefeated. If someone defeated it, trust me, I would take it down in 5 seconds. But the fact is, no one has ever beaten it, and to this day it remains irrefuted. That's why I keep it up and keep killing atheism with it. At 604 of your video, you are a liar, Mr. Hartley. If this were true, then please present it. I'm seriously laughing at you over here. At 634, I have a video up about why I keep my common approval on. Please go check that out, man. At 716 of your video, this is another lie. I've never asked any illogical or unanswerable questions. However, if people make an absurd claim, then they open themselves up to questioning in regards to their topic. So please provide proof of your baseless assertions before everyone on the planet figures out that you're nothing more than a coward who refuses to answer questions and a liar. Both of those are very bad. At 733 of your video, saying the universe is uncaused is not explaining how our physical universe began to exist. Again, the atheists only have two options here, STE or SCP-NCU. At 844 of his video, forget the word cause, just tell us, Mr. Hartley, how our physical universe began to exist, or if something is eternal in the past. Come on, man, just tell us. At 905 of your video, this is correct. Finally, you said something logical, and it's not a third option at all. It falls under STE or SCP-NCU once you are forced to define it and break it down to its foundation. At 1020, this is another lie. What I asked you was if any part of the universe is eternal, meaning did not begin to exist but is eternal in the past. I said nothing about it not having an end. At 1040, another lie. That's not why STE is illogical. STE is illogical because of infinite regress and the numerous philosophical issues. Also because all the scientific research and evidence points to the contrary view of STE that shows space and time had a finite beginning and a very distinct starting point. At 1111 to 1136 of your video, this is yet another lie. And this dude cannot stop lying. The word when is a flawed term here because it implies that God exists in time, which he does not until the moment of creation. God had a timeless intention to create. There is no time until God creates the universe, at which point he becomes temporal to relate to his creation. But again, this is all for phase 2 and 3. Mr. Hartley never made it past phase 1, which is the Elliott argument. At 1241, yes, the singularity in the Big Bang model. This also falls under STE or SCP-NCU once broken down, making the Big Bang model completely illogical unless a spaceless, timeless creator was behind it. At 1247, this is an epic fail by Mr. Hartley. The singularity in the Big Bang model is a super hot, super condensed pinpoint of energy. Energy cannot exist without the potential to exist, space. And energy cannot exist without events happening. So there certainly was time prior to the expansion of the singularity. I have entire videos dedicated to this fact. Please check those out. At 1340, multi-universe theory falls under STE because it's simply an eternal cycle without a beginning. Therefore faces the same problems of infinite regress, and our universe never is the one which gets to be created. Yet, here we are today. Also, multi-universe theory is just a theory. So besides falling under STE and being irrational and illogical, there's also absolutely no scientific evidence for it. At 1507, if I grant you that the universe came into existence 15 billion years ago, tell me why your potentials that you talk about didn't bring our universe into existence sooner. Why 15 billion years ago? Why right then, huh? Nothing? At 1637, you won't answer the most important questions about your proposed third option. You know, the one that proves the Elliott argument is a false dichotomy. The burden of proof is on you, Mr. Hartley, but you're too scared to answer or break your option down, so it's no option at all. At 1646, please answer this for me. Please, please, please. So in conclusion, man, his entire video is a complete joke. It's filled with lies and cowardness. In no way did he ever come close to defeating me or my argument. When you're ready, Mr. Hartley, to try to answer the questions that I've asked you, that you have refused to answer numerous times, let me know. Let me know how. Let me know how, in a step-by-step process, that your spaceless, timeless, immaterial potentials that don't exist anywhere brought our physical universe into being. Give me a step-by-step process of how this happened. I love y'all, man. Another atheist. Welcome to the zoo. I'll see y'all soon. I'm out. Peace!